Welcome back to my channel and to the part 2 of this collective reading where I was talking about the divine feminines globally should not fear the karmic or third party energy. Within the twin flame metaphysical framework, the relationship is not supposed to be maintained through competition. In fact, it should be maintained through choice, alignment, maturity, and free will. And also, one more thing is very, very important is for feminines to not live under some kind of compulsion of giving, some kind of compulsion of feeling, basically that you have to cater to someone, you have to serve someone. You just serve Lord. You serve Lord God Almighty and you serve your divine blueprint. You serve your soul purpose. You don't serve people in general, and that includes your divine masculine or your divine counterpart. So, I spoke about certain things in the previous collective reading, and in this one, I will continue from where I had left. So, I did speak about one point which I will repeat here, but I'll add a few more things. So, the healed feminine stops policing the connection. Why you don't need to investigate or compare or stalk social media or decode every interaction or constantly ask what someone else is doing, because that is a very anxious energy, that is a very low frequency energy. That energy is quite hurtful actually. And to be frank, the masculine and feminine both are in many ways bonded with each other. But you see, all relationships on this planet are actually temporary by nature. Nobody actually belongs to you. Nobody belongs to us. We don't belong to anyone. We are here for lessons, we are here for experience. Some people stay with us for shorter span of time. We have some lessons, we learn some lessons from them. And some people are here for a longer period of time. All in all, the masculine is supposed to actually help you in your divine soul mission. All divine feminines collectively have a mission on earth, and you already know, a lot of you already know about it. You have to look at fear into its eyes, and you have to continue doing what you are supposed to do, what you love, and just be in the here and now. And if possible, if you resonate with it, okay, this is absolutely your choice. You should chant the mantra Ram, the shortest, simplest mantra Ram. I'll talk about it later. And now I'll come back to this policing energy is a very low frequency energy. It is, it definitely means that there is something that you are worried about. There is something that you are scared about. There's something that you fear because you are checking out some information. If information comes to you on its own, then that's a great thing. That's the right way to go. You get some information directly, it comes to you without you looking around, without you snooping around, checking around. Then you'll do whatever is the right thing to do, but you don't have to look around for it. Now your focus should return to your own frequency, not because you're trying to manipulate the masculine energetically, but because your attention is very, very valuable. You are here for practice, and practice makes a man perfect. And non reactivity is very powerful. Non reactivity is not just keeping quiet verbally, non reactivity is not just going mum verbally, because some people do that. Some people who are in distorted energies or narc, people who operate from narc energies, they also, in order to gaslight or in order to gain control over others, they go silent. They'll not speak, they'll not say anything. They're very manipulative. But you should know that silence is not just verbal silence. Sometimes you can speak a lot, but yet you're mentally silent, because mind is what needs to go silent. And we all know that a maximum communication doesn't happen via words. A lot of you who are here are listening to this channeling, but you're not listening to just my words, you're listening to my tone, and you're communicating with my energy. Only 7% of communication happens verbally, rest everything is energetic. So you could be listening to all these words, but you're really getting the vibes, you're really getting something which you cannot physically quantify. So that's how your energy is, that's how your attention is. It's very, very valuable. So non reactivity is also very powerful. Now, feeling jealousy or fear does not make you unspiritual. You are going to feel this way. These are natural emotions. When you look at someone who's good and you feel jealous, it can inspire you, okay? But when you suppress it or you repress it, it can make you envious. Fear doesn't make you unspiritual. You just have to understand why you're scared. What is the thing that is scaring you? The evolution happens when you can feel the emotion without actually allowing it to dictate your behavior. And when you're growing in this journey, the moon lessons becomes Mars wisdom. Symbolically, the moon will always ask, am I emotionally safe? But the Mars energy is like, I know who I am and I will act according to my values. I know who I am, take it or leave it. And there is no fear when people leave. Whether they take it or whether they leave it, it's the same for you. This kind of energy, the Mars energy, feminine that knows how to operate in this energy, does not need constant reassurance. Her question changes from does he love me to am I living in a way that honors myself? Comparison destroys sovereignty, and the moment you begin asking whether you're prettier, more desirable, more spiritual, or more worthy than another person, you have temporarily handed your power away. There is no need to win either. So I'm not saying that you are whatever you are, pretty, desirable, spiritual, but there's no competition either. Healthy love is not about competition with another human being. Healthy love is about accepting who you are. If the masculine chooses someone else, that is information. That's not a verdict on feminine's worth. His choice belongs to him. If he returns, his return should be evaluated through behavior. Because many people return and many people then accept them back. But there's no change and there is no accountability, there's no responsibility. You're accepting that person purely because you're missing their presence, or you were thinking about them. You don't know why someone is with you. Somebody could just be with you for materialistic reasons. And again, that should also not bother you, because you all know we are not here permanently. Whatever we get on planet Earth, we get it when we come here, and we have to leave everything when we leave from here. So the wise person uses all the resources given to him or her in the best way. Basically, they enjoy with it, they don't attach with it. Oh, I got this money. They're not attaching with the money or the wealth or whatever they build here. They simply say, God chose me for this work, or my soul, my higher self chose me for this work, and I'm doing it. It doesn't belong to me. If I have surplus of it, then I should give it to, like, I should know who to give it to. And this will come with experience, or this will come with understanding. So there is no need to accept people when you're not satisfied just because you're scared. Spiritual labels cannot substitute for honesty, consistency, accountability, loyalty, and respect. Energetic connection also does not excuse unhealthy behavior. Twin flame, the label of twin flame should never become a reason to tolerate betrayal, manipulation, addiction, abuse, or repeated disrespect. And also, I will still tell you guys that betrayal, manipulation, addiction, abuse, repeated disrespect can actually be used to go inward and figure out why you're seeing this side of a person. Even the worst people have a good side, and they show it to the ones they like. It means that every bad person who's bad to us, has a good side, and they're very much capable of being nice, because they are definitely nice to someone. the ones they like or the ones they want to be around, they're much nicer to that person. The feminine sovereignty becomes the foundation. She can love someone deeply while still say that I will not participate in behavior that violates my values. The karmic energy loses its psychological grip when you stop feeding it attention. Whether or not one literally believes in karmic energy, this principle is psychologically useful, that attention reinforces whatever you repeatedly monitor. So, if in fact you can use this for your practice, if you're constantly thinking about a certain situation or a certain kind of person or a certain person, then write it down, like release it. You can get into therapy work with me. I work on this and I've helped a lot of people to release the karmic energy. It's very, very important because we need to understand, first of all, why do we have the fear of karmic, and why is it so important to release this fear or this discomfort? Where is it coming from? Is it coming from our parents? Is it coming from our culture? Is it coming from our society? Is it coming from what we have studied, what we have seen, kind of movies we have seen? Is it coming from a part of us that feels small or unworthy? Like you could have an issue with your body weight, you could have an issue with your hair, you could have an issue with your height, you could have an issue with your voice, with your looks, and that could be physically translating into a person. So, you can bless and release. You can learn to bless and release whatever lesson this connection contains. May everyone involved learn it with wisdom, and then she can return to her own life. So, divine feminine becomes very attractive because she becomes whole, not because she has discovered some secret ninja technique to make her man chase her. It's just that she knows about herself and she's not attached with the man as such. She has a lot of other things to do in life, some really great things to do in life, some really amazing things to do in life. So, divine feminine's magnetism comes from self possession, not obsession of another person. She has her own life, purpose, creativity, friendship, spirituality, body, work, passions, family, offsprings, an inner world that doesn't disappear when romance becomes uncertain. The queen doesn't compete with the village. She simply knows that she doesn't have to, and she will not accept anything that is less than her values or purpose. If something doesn't match the energy, it's okay. Um, there are certain things that you all need to know, because I personally work with people, I have worked with them, and thankfully they realize it and they manage to attract a better life after that and better person after that. You should be very well aware about false twin flame concept. You should be very well aware about karmic relationships. You should be aware about wrong waiting. Okay, there are some people who have spent their whole life waiting for the wrong person or hoping that they'll find love with the wrong person. Okay, with a false twin flame connection, so it is actually someone else's connection. Let's say you meet that person somewhere in life, they could be learning some lessons, you could be learning some lessons, they find someone who matches with their vibe, and you are left behind. And trust me, such relationships from the very beginning, they are dicey, because when false twin connections break, you'll always notice the other person will find someone and they will instantly commit to that person, they'll get married to that person, they'll even have children with that person really fast. They would be in such a hurry to build a family, and they would do anything and everything for that other person which they did not do for you. And if you are in that space and you're still waiting for someone who's already with somebody else, already married, having a family, having children, living a life, and you're sitting there stalking that person online constantly, then that's a very sad place to be in. You must, look within, and you must try to look for someone else who can fill that gap, and actually you'll find that person very soon. The day you cut the cord with the false twin flame connection, the day you decide that I do not want to be mentally giving energy to someone else, because that person is going to flourish because of your attention, because you're giving that person so much attention, you are actually helping them a lot more than you know. But then that help is costing you a lot, because it could be literally that person's destiny to be pushed via you. But now, if you're listening to this and you resonate with this, now it's your time to work on yourself so that you can attract that connection, the right connection in your life. Okay, and you can move on with your things. So when you are with that person, you don't have to convince that person, okay, to be with you. Actually, they will convince you, they will pursue you, they will leave everything if needed to just be with you. Waiting keeps the feminine emotionally unavailable to the present, because she's constantly either stuck or trapped in the past, or she is stuck with some future related thoughts which may or may not come true. You don't know about that. It's just not being in the here and now, basically. Okay. If a spiritual connection is meaningful, it should ultimately be reflected through conscious choices and real world behavior. This is where 3D comes into the picture. It is great to be in 5D. People talk about 5D, oh, 5D is great, and then they disregard 3D, which is actually physical reality. And in my opinion, 3D or 5D is not above or below each other. 3D and 5D actually go hand in hand, whereas 4D is literally the bridge. You have to be good in both. If you're good in the material world, you'll definitely be good in the spiritual world. If you're good in the spiritual world, you'll definitely be good in the material world. But you have to have the balance, and you have to walk on the ground. You can't fly. You're here to walk on the ground. Yeah, unless you really ascend and you are able to fly, then you can fly too. So, yeah, presence is the real ascension. Can you enjoy today even when tomorrow is not guaranteed? Do you know to be in the here and now? Because trust me, some of the people we know who seem to be distorted masculines or feminines, they actually know how to live in the here and now. They do not believe in the concept of tomorrow. They believe in the concept of today. They don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. They still take their chances. And literally every day, pretty much, they are taken care of. They get what they want. You can learn from those people. Why not? So, healed feminine doesn't abandon hope, she abandons obsession. I don't believe in the word hope, also, I believe in intention. This is called emotional alchemy, where fear becomes self awareness. If you're literally stuck in some timeline where you're waiting for the masculine to come to you, to leave the karmic and come to you, then even asking these questions, when will he leave the karmic, when will he return, when will the union happen, this can become another form of waiting, and really horrible kind of waiting, because that's like you're not even enjoying yourself, your life. So self awareness becomes choice, and choice becomes sovereignty. Sovereignty becomes peace. Now, another form of karmic energy is not a person, it is a person's behavior pattern, or it is what you feel about that person. So, they may not be really practically, somebody is not dating someone or talking about someone or whatever, thinking about someone, but they could be acting in certain ways which fall under karmic patterns. Like they could be not showing proper commitment, not showing proper work, not taking responsibility, just hanging around. They are giving you physical presence. And if that's the case and you want to work on it, then there's a different therapy that is used for it, where you have to use the Venus energy and not the Mercury energy in a partner. And today only I was talking about it to one of my really bright student, that do not use the Venus energy, do not use the Mercury energy. Do not think about intellect or intelligence or deep talks. If your partner cannot have deep talks with you, if they're not emotionally bonded with you, then think about it in a different way. Maybe you need to focus on deep stuff that matters to you. Peace makes it much more easier to see the relationship clearly. When you're peaceful within yourself, you will understand the actuality of a relationship. The third party, therefore, becomes irrelevant to the feminine's evolution. The central question is not what is she doing or what is my guy doing or what is my woman doing for men who are seeking for this, but rather ask who am I becoming and what am I doing. If the connection is genuine, it will not require constant surveillance. If the connection is unhealthy, surveillance won't even heal it. Trust me. You cannot heal the relationship even if you keep checking the person. If the masculine is confused, his confusion is his responsibility. If he is committed, his commitment should become visible through his actions. If he is unavailable, the feminine doesn't have to put her life on hold. She should live her life every minute of the day. She should be in the here and now. This is the practice, this is the power of presence, this is true surrender, and this is true faith. This is where spirituality matures so beautifully that it replaces fantasy. Perhaps the biggest message for the collective for this reading is don't make the karmic energy, the third parties, or these people your antagonist. Yeah, this is very important. They may simply be another human being navigating their own consciousness, and your masculine could be responsible for that person's choices. You are responsible for your own, and your job is not to energetically defeat another woman or another situation or another man. For all the DMs who are listening to this, sometimes I feel, sometimes I do feel I should completely make content for the person who's twin flame, because as you advance more and more you'll realize that you have both DM and DF energies in you. And it's interesting, it is so interesting, because there would be certain tasks for which you would require to be in your feminine energy, and there would be some tasks that you would be required to be in your masculine energy. And all of you people are new generation twin flames. This generation twin flames, you don't mature when you're in your teenage or when you're in early 20s. You mature a bit after that, and you don't age that fast. You age slow, very slowly. You're far more energetic after you cross your 20s. You become more energetic after 30s. After mid 30s you become super energetic. And I'm not talking like everyone, I'm not talking about everyone, I'm talking about most people. Okay, yes, there are exceptions. Yes, we have Gen Z's also in this group, and we have people from 2000 also in this group, but then everyone has different gifts. Okay, your job is not to energetically defeat anybody. Just remember that. It could be MIL, SIL, BIL, FIL. It could be the neighbors, it could be the relatives, it could be some toxic co-workers. Toxic people are everywhere. Everywhere. Okay, you can't run away from them, but you need to, as I said, don't make them your antagonists, don't make them your enemies, don't hold on to their character. It's just a character that they're playing. Your job is to become so deeply rooted in your own identity that nobody else's presence can make you question your worth. And this is the real transition from do you love me to this is who I am. Meet me here. Meet me in the field where there's no good and bad, as Rumi had said. Whether you come with me or not, I'm still walking towards my highest life. That is sovereignty. So, this is where I will close this collective reading. The part 2 ends here. And I will see you in the next one for therapies and for readings. Check out the description box. You can also get my book In the Name of Love, A Journey of Finding Your Ultimate Soulmate. See you in the next one.